Hello. Welcome everyone. God bless you. If you're in the house, you already know what to do. Drop a comment, let me know you're here. If it's your first time visiting this YouTube channel, my name is Denzel Rodriguez, your personal finance geek of the 21st century. We cover velocity banking, infinite banking, and kingdom authority. Those are the three pillars. My mission, my vision, my goals in life and business is to help moms restore kingdom authority in their household while mastering their personal finances to achieve financial freedom, to enhance the next generation, to inspire, motivate, and build kingdoms that will last forever. Okay? And on this channel, I think I've been doing a good job. Let me know where I can improve, how I can get better. And we're going to have a lot of fun in today's class. We're going to be covering velocity banking. We're talking about just some ground level stuff on the current environment that we're living in and how velocity banking can add to your current financial environment. And we're going to add a little twist, kind of just presenting a new topic, which is market crash. So we're going to be covering velocity banking and the next market crash. How to operate in a crisis. We've already experienced one major crisis in 2020, right? That was social distance, pandemic, COVID breakout, shutdowns, stimulus checks, all this stuff. But now we're not even through with it yet. We're still in that, right? And we're managing, we're learning how to operate. But now you got to prepare for the next move, which is market crash. Okay? You are in a bubble, okay? We're about to experience hyperinflation. I want to say about over 20% of the US dollar, right? The dollar, 20% of all the money that has ever been printed in the United States of America from the time of its birth up until this point, 20% or more, I believe, has been printed in under a year, in the last year, from like March 2020 up until this point. And we're printing more, okay? What does that mean for the average kingdom citizen in this environment here? And the people who are with me right now, the people who are doing velocity banking, you're doing debt snowball, you're doing velocity banking, infinite banking put together. You're trying to pay off your debt. Maybe you're starting a business. You're paying off debt and starting a business. You're trying to get your finances in order. Whatever level you're at, how can I pivot, operate? And if I had a crystal ball and I know that the market is about to crash, the current economic environment we are in is about to burst, how do I, ask this question to yourself, how do I operate and pivot so that I can not only be prepared for when it comes, but also thrive, like grow, expand. You want to have that mindset. You don't want to go hide in a cave and wait it out, right? We want to be able to look at a crisis as an opportunity, as a once in a lifetime opportunity to drastically change your financial situation, your entire kingdom, okay? So on the board, I have a situation. I'm going to share with you one of my clients' numbers. I'm going to take you back when I first spoke to them, and then a recent conversation I had with them, looking at the numbers, sharing a win, sharing with you what they're doing to pivot, prepare, and expand in a crisis or in a market crash. And then I'm also going to share with you how I would operate if I had to start all over again, right? So let's say like going back to when I was making, a 35K a year salary. So if I was on a 35K a year salary with all the information and knowledge and wisdom and experience that I know now, and I had to start it all over again, and I know a crash is coming, what are the things that I'm going to be doing to prepare, be effective with my time, but expand, take advantage of the opportunity, take advantage of different things that I can do to explode my business or explode my finances to 10x. Yes, to 10x. All right. So let me say hello to some people in the house here. Also, let me know how my mic is. I just saw my mic went a little crazy just now. So let me know if I've got good audio coming in. Let me know. And I'm going to say hello to some people, and then we're going to dive into the board here. Got 68 people in the house, 71 and rising. Wonderful. So hello. Aaron, how are you? Greetings from Texas Kingdom citizens. Richard, hello everyone in the house. Pearl, good evening. Hello. How are you? Maritza, how you doing? Hello, here for the very first time. God bless you. Hello everyone. Ellie, hello. Walter, hello. Karen, hello. Aaron says 23%, so you just corrected me. Madness. Frank Lopez, how are you? He says super crazy. Good evening, Jeremy. Hello, Sharonda. I'm really getting more and more excited about Velocity Banking. Got my HELOC, did a chunk payment on my mortgage. Looking forward to talking to you again soon. Awesome. I'm super excited. Glad I'm able to catch a live. Miss learning. Great job to Pearl. Yes. Hello, Stevie. All right, I sound perfect. Mic is good. Sound is clear. All good. Thank you. Hello from Orlando. Hello. Sherry, how you doing? Hello, Kingdom citizens. May you all be blessed. Finance Geek in the house. We love you. Pic is clear. Audio is clear. My leader. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Claudia, hello. Perfect Balance Financial Services. How you doing? Hello from New Zealand. Wow. Cool. Karen says, don't forget to like the video. Okay, so if you're in the house, you get value from this, feel free, subscribe, like, comment, dive into this. Let's have some fun. So let's go to the board. So on the board here, I have an individual I worked with back in June of 2020. Now this person, I have to correct myself, is not yet an official client. They paid for one consultation back in 2020 for 1 hour, and I spoke to them. Now, in that time, this particular person was not actually ready to start Velocity Banking. So instead of taking the full hour, I said, listen, let's cut this into 30 minutes and let me give you some practical steps to get yourself started. And then you can hit me up at any time for the other 30 minutes so that you get the full value of what I can, offer and bring to the table. So that's what we did. In June 2020, had a 30-minute conversation. He paid for an hour. His numbers were this. Income $6,931, expenses $6,477.71. Their total debt was $177,076.75. Their cash flow was $453.29. Okay. Fast forward, we've got 8 months or so that passed. Now, February 17th, 2021, had that follow-up 30-minute call. From the first time we spoke up until today, I want to share with you all the wins that he achieved. Number one, his income increased to $7,500. His expenses decreased, $6,105. His debt actually went up. That's a bit odd, Denzel. I'm surprised you're sharing that details. That usually doesn't happen on your channel. What's up with that, right? And I'm here to tell you, it's not always a fairy tale, right? It's not always gonna be sweet. You know, 2020 was rough. For this particular situation, this person did pay off quite a bit of debt, but then they accumulated a certain kind of debt to help them do some things, but then they also were leveraging debt to start their business. So that is why the number was 177, then it went up to 181, okay? But notice how their cash flow, even in the midst of debt rising, their cash flow went up to 1,395. These are still wins, okay? So for this person, they're not looking at this number as a negative, as if they went backwards. No, they actually went forward. And here are the wins that I want to share with you. From when we first spoke, they did not have a debt tool, which is why they weren't ready for velocity banking anyways. Their cash flow was pretty low. They didn't have the right credit. They were 600s and very low 600s, so they had to do a lot of work, okay? First thing, they managed to acquire a secured personal line of credit for $11,500 at a 5% interest rate. So they acquired their debt tool in this time frame. This person paid off 11 credit cards, okay? And they reduced other debts on their installment loans. They increased their credit score from the low 600s to low 700s and, you know, like 720. And that was the main thing that they really had to work on. This person established an LLC. Talk about a New Year's resolution. Did it right on January 1st, 2021. Bam, getting certified, right? Business owner. They acquired their notary license. So they're going to be issuing, I think, loans or, you know, that stamp thing that you do when you have to get something notarized. There you go. That was the word I was looking for. So they got that to increase their income even more, have a second stream. This person is a registered nurse. They have 1 year left on their psych nurse practitioner. So I'm not sure if he's already a nurse, but I know he's in the health. He's a healthcare worker. That's the industry that this person is in. Okay, so these are the wins, right? And then as of now, 2021, we're in February. It's February 18th. Yep, it's February 18th. And they're doing velocity banking on the debt tool right now. It's got a bit of a balance on it. So we're doing velocity banking. The goal is to chunk by June or sooner. So their next chunk towards debt, they're going to wipe out some really important debt that's going to increase their cash flow by $859, which is going to be another win as we move further into 2021. Okay, so this person is not only paying off debt, managing their money, giving, receiving value, investing in themselves, building a business, creating a second stream of income. They're pivoting, they're aligning, they're operating in kingdom principles so that when this market crash does come, they will be positioned properly, okay? And here are some things that I just wanted to share if I was in this person's position or if I was making my 35K a year salary, right? So back in 2018, before I started the YouTube channel, I had a 35K salary and I was a food and beverage manager. Okay, that was my role. Okay. So I know there's a lot of people that follow me that have jobs, careers, your income dropped, your income went up. There's all different situations. So I'm pretty much talking to everyone, no matter where you are at financially, although this is going to hit probably a lot better for those that are, say, making under 5 grand a year, making under 7 grand a year. For those that are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, you already know a market crash is coming. You already have the information. One YouTube channel I highly recommend, or an individual I highly recommend looking up. His name is Patrick Bet David, has a YouTube channel called Valuetainment, and then a podcast called the Bet David Podcast, I believe, or the Patrick Bet David Podcast, all on YouTube. This gentleman I've recently added to my fantasy league in terms of being informed on information in the economy, politics, finance, really a mixture of everything, just being totally aware of my environment, how to pivot, how to align, how to operate effectively. So I highly recommend this individual. Patrick recently put out a video about the next market crash. So if you were to type that in YouTube, you probably would see his video. It's ranking really well right now. He provides about 10 or 11 reasons why so I'm not going to try and convince you that a market crash is coming. I've already settled my mind, so I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to just show you how I'm operating. So if you want to go get convinced, you want to go get numbers and stats and things like that, check out Patrick Bet David. Look up next market crash. It's a short, quick video. He provides 10 or 11 reasons why this individual who's making hundreds of millions of dollars a year, foresees a market crash coming in the near future, very, very soon, right? So that's that. Now, coming back to, let's say I was in this situation, making 35 grand a year, which is roughly less than 2,000 a month take home net, how I would operate in the midst of a crash or in a crisis, right? So I'll write crash, crisis, my attitude, my way of thinking. The first thing I'm going to do is redefine my words and language. I want to make sure that I have the right mindset coming into this, right? So talking to my 55 and up crowd, okay, I know I have quite a few of you that watch me. You're 55 and older, male or female. I think you really need to redefine your words, your language. A big word you need to redefine. If you're around this age and up, and maybe my 50s and 45s, okay, this word, retirement, you've got to redefine this word. I think you have been taught something that is ineffective, okay? I think it's important to really ask yourself, what does retirement actually mean? What is the end result? When I turn 59 and a half and I retire, or I retire at 65 or 69 or 70, what the heck does that actually mean? Like, does that mean collect Social Security, pension, 401k, and maybe 2 or 3 rental properties cash flowing you, and you've got this passive income and you're just going to pay bills and die, and maybe take a vacation once a year, twice a year, spend Christmas at the daughter's house or son's house? What does it actually mean? If you knew that you had an additional 30 years to live after retirement, an additional 30 years, like if you knew it, 30 years to live after retirement, Are you just going to stop working and just, like I said, pay bills and die, take a couple of vacations here or there, spend Christmas with the kids, the grandkids, and watch them grow, which is all fine and dandy. I'm not knocking any of that. I'm simply asking, is that what you want? Or can you have all of that and more? Is there a possibility that you can watch the grandkids grow up, that you can see your daughter and son succeed, that you can take 5 or 6 vacations a year, that you can build a business, go from working for the man or woman, going from working for the man, the woman, and now working for yourself? Is that a possibility? So I just wanted to spend a little time on that crowd because I know majority of my audience is roughly 45 years and older. So that was for you. Redefine your words and language. How are you showing up every single day? The next thing is original intent, right? Really just identifying what was my original intent for being here on planet Earth. What is my original purpose in life? Kind of going back, do I need to look at my history, my culture? What is the original design for my being, my physical being, why I'm here? And that has to do with answering the 4 major questions in life. Who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose in life? Where am I going? Okay. The next thing is 90 day rule to create content. You can literally type this in on YouTube. You'll find my video, 90 day rule to create content. Okay. This is one of the best things that has helped me produce a multiple 6-figure income and gain access to knowledge and information and wisdom and experiences and partnerships that I would not experience if I stayed here working for the man, working for the woman, right? If I would have stayed here and thought small, okay? So to simply go over the 90 day rule to create content, right? Pretty simple. This has to do with you engaging in the 21st century's marketplace, which is the internet. That is the main driver right now in our economy, the internet. It is big and it's just getting started. People think that it's, although it's been around a while, but it's literally just getting started in terms of momentum and potential. There is so much potential down the line. It's insane. So in a nutshell, the first 90 days, I simply record. Whatever device I have, whether it's a computer, a webcam, my iPhone, my Android, I don't care. I simply record. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. The objective is to get comfortable in front of the camera, right? Creating video content or audio content. Getting comfortable talking to myself in a room. Getting comfortable delivering a message to an audience that I don't have yet, okay? 90 days. All I do is hit the red button, I record. Don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to block out time, create a schedule, give myself 90 days to produce at least 90 pieces of content. That's the goal. 90 days, 90 pieces of content. It is not hard to do, especially if you're creating, say, short content on maybe TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. Whatever your content is, as long as you create the schedule, you say, okay, I'm going to take the next 4 hours every Monday and Wednesday. That's 8 hours for the next 12 weeks, right? And that'll be 90 days. 4 times 12 is what? 12, 24, 36, 48. 48 hours to create 90 pieces of content, it is very doable, let me tell you. Okay? And it's just a matter of practicing. So 90 days to create the content. My whole goal is just create the content. Don't worry about posting. Don't worry about editing. Don't worry about lighting and audio. Just get it going. Practice. Just keep it going. Right? We can record and edit and fix audio later. We just want to get the material down. We want to practice, get it going. So 90 days to create. The next 90 days is to plan, schedule, right? Process. So the next 90 days, after I've created roughly 90 pieces of content, my goal is to simply now decide what platform am I going to go on. So knowing all the information that I know now about social media marketing, the best places that I want to be, this is my opinion, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Clubhouse. Okay? Notice how I didn't say YouTube, and I have a strong YouTube channel at this point. I'm putting myself in this mindset, not my current mindset making 30, 40, sometimes 50, 70K a month. Okay, I'm going back to 35K salary, only netting less than 2,000 a month, working at a job. Where is my time going to be the most effective? Because I'm on a low budget. So right now, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Clubhouse are the best platforms to gain organic reach, where you can literally make a post on TikTok and a lot of strangers will see it. LinkedIn, strangers will see it. Clubhouse, just hopping into a room, people are going to be there. You're going to have their attention, right? These platforms are pushing the algorithm in favor of the new content creator. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram is extremely saturated already. You're competing with big time content creators already. So it's going to take quite a bit of time to really get things off the ground. So I'm not saying don't start a YouTube channel, don't start a Facebook. Yes, start those things. But if you're looking to maximize and be effective, in my opinion, I think TikTok, LinkedIn, and Clubhouse is where you want to be to attract a lot of attention, and then maybe you bring them to your base, which is maybe a Facebook group, or your base could be a YouTube channel. It just depends, right? Or your base could be LinkedIn, or your base could be TikTok. However it is, people eventually, where are you sending them? Typically, it'll be a website, right? So first 90 days, record. Next 90 days, plan, schedule, process. So once I get the material, I have the 90 pieces of content. I now have to edit it, upload it to the different platforms, and schedule the posting. Not right away, but 90 days from that point. Gives you plenty of time to do what I call batching. Gives you plenty of time to batch your content, okay? So first 90 days, record. Next 90 days, plan, schedule, process. The next 90 days is execution. You're simply going to watch your platforms explode and grow over time. And you're going to be able to evaluate, pivot, get feedback, get comments, things like that. You're also going to establish a consistent schedule, right? So during those 90 days of planning and processing, you could also be recording more if you want, but to keep it simple and not get overwhelmed, you work with what you've created in those first 90 days. You start editing, like I said, uploading to the different platforms, to the TikTok, to the LinkedIn, to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, right? And there are different softwares that you can use to schedule your content way in advance, putting all your hashtags and your description and your title and your thumbnail and your this and your that. You're giving yourself that time so you don't get overwhelmed. Remember, I'm in this mindset here of a worker. I'm a 9-to-5 person. My time is, I'm already working, 50-hour, 60-hour weeks. So I don't have a whole lot of time. Okay, I'm in that mindset of a 9-to-5 worker, not successful entrepreneur, making multiple six figures. Different story. Coming back here. And I know this is where a lot of you are at. 9-to-5 job, you feel like you don't have a lot of time. This is how I create the time and give myself that room. And what I'm not doing is comparing myself to that 7-figure entrepreneur that I'm getting my information from, that 8-figure, 9-figure, 10-figure entrepreneur. I'm not comparing myself to that, because that's going to put me in procrastination. I'm going to get depressed and I'm just going to feel down and feel like I'm not doing anything. That's going to be terrible. I'm not looking at that. I'm focusing on how do I become a better version of myself, right? How do I become a better me than yesterday, right? That's who I'm competing against, my yesterday self, okay? So plan, schedule, process. And then, the third, kind of already went over it, execution, right? So we want to execute on those last 90 days. Those last 90 days is the least amount of work, because it's already planned, scheduled. You got the process set up. You got your thumbnails, your title, your description, your links, your everything. It's already set up. And you're going to post every single day for 90 days straight. That's one option. Second option is you can say, okay, I'm going to post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now, the way I get around posting every single day, Monday to Friday, is you got to understand that one video can equal, 10 pieces of content. Can't write. 10 pieces of content. What I mean by that is you could have your Instagram, so you can make your post, you can make your one video, you can have it posted on Instagram, IGTV. On Tuesday, could be Facebook, right? On Wednesday, could be YouTube. On Thursday, could be TikTok. On Friday, LinkedIn. On Saturday, you talk on Clubhouse. On Sunday, you talk on Clubhouse, right? So you can create that little system where it's the same video, but you're sending it to 4, 5, 6 different platforms, and that helps you not get overwhelmed, because you've already processed it, you've already scheduled it in advance, right? So you create that schedule, 90 days of content. While that's being executed and it's just going at that point, there's nothing you need to do, because you have the scheduler for maybe LinkedIn and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, right? You've got all the scheduling in order. You can use certain platforms that are free that can help you schedule your content. Like Facebook has a creator studio for Facebook and Instagram, so that saves you time. YouTube has a creator studio where you can schedule stuff. TikTok, I don't know. LinkedIn has a separate platform that you can use to schedule your content. You could probably use it on TikTok as well. That's how you save a whole lot of time. You don't have to watch your content. You don't have to, wait for the likes to come in the comments. Just let it go. Let it go. Once it's out there, you let it go. During those 90 days of execution, you rinse and repeat. Start recording in those 90 days, and then you'll have an additional, time frame to start your 90 day rule process going. So what ends up happening is, if you get 90 different videos or 90 pieces of content, that 90 can turn into 180 easily. So now you've created 90 separate pieces of video, right? Or content value, whether it's the written word, a post, a video, podcast, audio, whatever it is. It's 90 separate pieces of content that can get reposted and repurposed 4 and 6 times over. So being conservative, 90 can become 180, right? So during those 90 days of execution that your pre-existing material is already going out, you're now recording again. You're now recording again, producing new content. You're now giving yourself those other 90 days because your 90 pieces of content became 180. So it's actually 180 days straight. Every single day you're posting something on these different platforms, right, that you can choose from. So that gives you that 90 days that you need to plan, schedule, and process. And then right as you run out of content, boom, you're executing on that new content that you recorded, you edited, you uploaded, scheduled out. Bam. So now you're batching, essentially. You're batching your content, you're saving time, your income begins to rise over time. It might take 6 months, might take a year. But the fact that you didn't have to burn yourself out, you still have your 9-to-5 job and you do this on the side, it doesn't even feel like a hustle. It just feels like you're operating in kingdom format, kingdom protocol. You're just moving forward. So that's how I would operate in the midst of a crash or a crisis, knowing that if the market tanks, when the market tanks, and if I have to take a pay cut or I lose my job, I have something that I'm building that could potentially save me, right? Not guaranteed, could potentially save me, right? Here are the platforms. Last thing is to give and invest in myself only. This is huge. If you give, you receive. If you do it from the heart, tenfold return, 10x return, okay? 10x return. But the other thing is, in regards to investing, if I choose to only invest in myself, I have to cut out all the noise. So coming back to when I was making $35K a year, I'm not buying gold, silver, crypto, Robinhood, investing in Robinhood stock, GameStop, AMC, Carnival Cruise Lines. I'm not investing in Forex and not trying to start any type of get rich quick and, you know, do this, do that, and send my money here and start an IBC. I'm not doing none of that yet. I'm redirecting all cash flow back to me. I'm going to invest in books, courses, education, coaching, mentoring, networking, access to information, sales, right? What can I sell? What can I produce in the marketplace, right? How can I bring value to the marketplace and go from there? The other thing is knowing that at $35K a year salary, if I have a crystal ball and I know the market crash is coming and I could potentially lose my job, my thinking now becomes, how do I get access to the CEO of my company and get that promotion? I need to be thinking, how can I add more value to the company that I'm at? How can I grow? What job can I transition to now that pays more? How do I make myself fireproof? Where the CEO, the managers, the CFOs, the owners of the company will not fire me because they need me, because the market is crashing. They need me. How do I go from a liability to an asset in a company? That's the mindset I need to have. If I got the crystal ball, I know the market crash is coming. I watch the videos. I see the marketplace. I see what's going on. Crash is coming. What do I do? What mindset do I need to have? I cannot stay here at $35K a year. I'm a liability. I have to ask myself, okay, in addition to starting my side business and having something that I own personally, how can I increase my income? So if I know the market is coming, I'm not even worried about saving money. investing money in the stock market and this and that. All that gets canceled out. My mindset becomes 10x. How do I expand? Okay? Because it's a lot easier to make 10,000 than it is to save 10,000. It's a lot easier to make 10,000 than to invest 10,000 in GameStop, AMC, Carnival Cruise Lines, and wait for the rate of return to come. It's a lot easier for me to go out and sell myself. It's a lot easier to ask my CEO, my manager, for a $10,000 raise. It's a lot easier. A lot. Okay? Because you are becoming extremely valuable. You're switching from liability to an asset yourself because you're investing in yourself, because you're reading books, you're obtaining information and knowledge in the marketplace so that you can deliver and get paid for your time and efforts as a kingdom citizen. So that's it. That's my lesson. I'm done. I am more than happy to step into some Q&A here. I'm going to take a drink of water real quick and we're going to get started. Okay. Had to get a sip of water because I felt my throat getting dry. All right. We got 135 people in the house. So for the next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to look at some Q&A. And I am going to encourage, if anybody wants to actually chime in, you want to call in, I'll accept callers. And we can have a conversation together and see how I can be of service to you this evening. All right. So let me scroll back up to where I was at. Let's see, where do we leave off? I think we left off with Karen saying, don't forget to like the video. Yes. Okay, we got hello from Davis. How you doing? Oh, hello, Candy. Hello. Greetings from Mississippi. Dwayne, how you doing? Marisol, hello from Connecticut. How you doing? Jamie Andrade, first time listening from California. Awesome. Hello, sir. My husband and I have reached out to IBC and we are working with Samantha. Samantha's awesome. Shout out to Samantha. Shout out to Phil. Shout out to Brandon, Steve, Stephanie are all great insurance agents over at IBC Global. They're awesome. So working with Samantha regarding a policy review and potentially signing up for a new policy with Guardian or MassMutual. Okay. One thing I want to share with you guys is if you are someone that obtained a policy with IBC Global, Steve Parisi, the owner, has a YouTube channel. I send so many people over there. If you actually do fund a policy, please let me know, right? Let me know. Send me an email. Hey, Denzel, I got my first policy. What I like to do is give a gift, right, to your kingdom, which is access to my kingdom at no charge, right? So I'd like to give access to my kingdom. You can even ask the insurance agent there. I have a whole system set up where you can gain access to my kingdom for at least 90 days to get a deeper dive in terms of, okay, once I establish the policy, what the heck do I do with it? How do I maximize it? And I have a ton of content where I give you different scenarios of how I'm currently using my policy, how my clients use their policy, real life case studies. So if you're someone that does get a policy, keep that in mind. I send emails out letting people know, but you know, people forget, so I'm just repeating. James, how you doing? Nakinya, hello, hello. Thank you for shining the light with your great collaborations. We almost signed on to 60-40 split without gathering all our options. Yeah, it's important to see all the options, right? What does a 70-30 split look like? What does a 80-20, a 75-25, a 90-10, a 85-15? What do those look like, right? If I'm working with someone that doesn't want to show that or even, show a comparison, hey, look, here are your options. Here's what exists in the marketplace. And you as the customer can be more informed and make your decision on how you want to move forward. Okay? How much interest rate has the Guardian for whole life insurance today, and what is the rate for the loan? Guardian, I believe, is 5.65. The loan interest rate, I believe, is right now I'm getting charged 5.6. But the crediting rate when I borrow out of my Guardian policy is 6%. So I end up coming out on top. There's no cost of borrowing when I borrow out of my Guardian policy. So even though the loan interest rate is higher than the current dividend rate of the company, I'm actually getting credited a 6% rate on whatever I do borrow, and then the remaining dollars that I did not borrow continues to earn at that rate with Guardian. That's how that works. Yep, 5.65. Yep, loan rate is interest. Bear in mind, Guardian is non-direct recognition. Yep, it is a direct recognition. Okay, could you explain between the two? Direct recognition says, hey, I'm recognizing you took out a loan, so I'm going to change the rate that you're earning on the policy. Non-direct says, hey, I'm not gonna look that you took out a loan. I'm gonna ignore the fact that you took out a loan. I'm gonna credit you the same interest rate on all your cash value as if you never borrowed it in the first place. Also, no cost of borrowing. How long do you think we have before the market crashes? Let's see, we got that next round of stimulus checks. Okay. I think end of this year. Either by the end of this year, you're going to start really feeling it. When they start implementing $15 an hour minimum wage requirement, federal requirement amongst the states, when they start implementing that, because that's a big thing that happened in the economy, $15 an hour minimum wage. So, for those of you who work in the hospitality industry, hotels, you clean rooms, you're a janitor, you are in the food and beverage, you work at a restaurant, you're a busboy, you're a waiter, you're a regular cook, you're not a chef yet, you're just a regular cook at a restaurant, you are the most vulnerable people right now. Okay? You're the most vulnerable because you already got smacked in the face in 2020 with COVID, shutting down the restaurants, distancing the tables, so that means less people coming to the restaurants, less people that the overall business can serve. So you've already got smacked, but get ready for the double smack, because when the government requires that business owner to pay you $15 an hour, and let's say you work at a small Italian restaurant and there's 5 waiters, and now that business owner has to pay each of them from $8 an hour. They got to jump it up to 15 or whatever the thing is. Over the next year or two, they got to jump. Bye-bye to 2. You're out. And then they're just going to roll with the 3. That's what's going to happen because the business owner cannot afford to pay $15 an hour. The only companies that can afford to pay $15 an hour are your Apple, your Google, your Amazon, your Walmart, the big guys. Okay? But like I said, the 1 location hotels, the one-off restaurants in the local area, right? When they implement that, that can be extremely dangerous to the people that are here, right? Not people like me, you know, consultants, financial advisors, and real estate people, investors. It doesn't help. It doesn't affect us at all, right? It affects people right here, right? People that are making 30, 40, 50K a year. You're gonna get a double smack when they introduce that increase in minimum wage. Understand that $15 an hour, right? Times that by 40 hours, times that by, 52 weeks. You do know that's like poverty level. That's like 30K a year, 35K. That's what it is, right? You're really not doing anything. You're still at poverty level. So even if you went from $8 to 15, you're at poverty level. And then what happens is that burger goes from $8 to $15, right? Your gas goes from $2.20 to $3.47 to $3.89 to $4. Your gallon of milk goes to $7. So all the prices, that hyperinflation goes up, it's like as if you didn't get a raise anyways, right? So that's where it'll pop. That'll be the first indication, right? You'll see that pop occur. Aaron says, Patrick Bet-David is an insane mentor, up there with Uncle G, Matthew Pilmore, etc. Totally agree. Totally agree. Okay. Oh yeah, that 90-90-90-day rule video was a good one. Gotta watch it again and follow the steps. Awesome. Glad you liked it. Okay, Aaron is giving value to Steve on the loan recognition, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Seems like YouTube has more limitations and censorship. Okay. I'm not educated enough to comment on it, so I don't really know. Hello from Chicago. Where can be found? Where can I find, or the videos? Damn, your grammar throwing me off. Something videos for Steve Parisi. All right, where can I find videos for Steve Parisi? IBC Global. Type that in on YouTube, right? He says, I'm about to buy Guardian life insurance, and I worry that the infinite banking is not worthwhile with Guardian. So why are you about to buy it? That makes no sense, right? So please, as an insurance agent that sells life insurance, guys, if you don't understand something, why are you buying it, right? That should be a red flag, right? And look, I'm telling you, I sell policies on a regular to my clients that position themselves to obtain it. It's a great concept. It works. I've shown the videos. You got to look, you got to go back, you got to dedicate the time. If you don't understand something, please don't fall into the hype of it. We, as insurance agents, are just really excited to share with you what we know about life insurance and how it can add to your overall investment portfolio and create asset protection, right? And accelerate generational wealth for your kingdom. That's all fine and dandy. But if you don't understand the basics, don't buy it. Don't buy it, right? Don't rush, right? How can I operate effectively, right? I'm foreseeing a market crash. I'm seeing all these different things go on. I need to get the information first. I need to take the time. Me personally, I took roughly 6 to 8 months just to learn infinite banking. To learn it, I watched all of IBC Global's videos and all of Nelson Nash's videos, and I found the books and read them, and I looked at the articles and read them. I looked at the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. That's how I operate. And then I got my first policy, and I still continue to learn more. I still continue to discover more information. You know, so that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Touch on briefly what you like about LinkedIn. So LinkedIn right now is favoring content creators. LinkedIn does not have a whole lot in the feed, right? So LinkedIn is great if you're a professional, you have a career, you want to document your experience, you want to connect with professional individuals, and you don't put out like content for TikTok or Instagram, you know, like posting like that. No, you want to post valuable, helpful information that people on LinkedIn are going to read it through and they're going to learn something. So people that go to LinkedIn are already in the mindset of connecting, networking, business partnerships, and things like that. And right now, according to my fantasy league, Gary Vaynerchuk says LinkedIn, best organic reach right now. So that's the mindset. If I was making, say, 35K, you know, a year, and I got limited budget and I can't afford Facebook ads and Instagram ads and YouTube ads and all that, where can I post that's going to get the most amount of reach? TikTok, LinkedIn, Clubhouse. That's where you want to be. Mary says, good job, love watching you. Thanks for helping us getting through with our difficulties. Yes, awesome, awesome. All right, what software to use? Like I said, you got the Facebook Creator Studio, the YouTube Creator Studio. For LinkedIn, I forget, you look it up, like how to schedule your content on LinkedIn. There's a couple different platforms, I forget the name. A lot of IBC conversation going on, so I'm just going to skip over that. Does the velocity banking apply to Canada? Yes, it can work over there. Works pretty effectively. Okay. This was great info. Love it. Awesome. I have term life insurance. How do I get started with whole life? Education first. Learn about it. Get comfortable talking about it. Find an agent to have a conversation with. I recommend reaching out to IBC Global, mention my name, watch my content. That's where I start. I got, Denzel says, Aaron says, I got 30K in cash. I know it's trash. I got 30K in cash and I know it's trash. And I need to get out of it. No consumer debt. Don't like the volatility of crypto. Recommendation on how to use funds. If I got 30 grand in cash, I'm building my business credit and personal credit. I'm going to go get access to more debt and go buy real estate. That's one option. Second option is, Aaron, if you have a business, if you have a product that you're selling, that you want to bring to the marketplace, and you want to create value in the marketplace, get paid for your time and effort, that 30 grand, I would go build my personal credit, business credit. You can reach out to Brittany Green, description below. You can reach out to Brittany Green on personal credit. You can reach out to my partner, Sebastian Boyer, on business credit. They're phenomenal people, kingdom people, very reliable, will hold you accountable. And then I would take that 30K after I build business and personal credit, get access to good debt that pays me money, invest in my business, that 30K, to create content, 90-90-90 rule, redefine my words and language, look at original intent, original design. If I got 30 grand, give some away and invest in yourself, right? That's how I would operate. Ebony says, I got a term life with New York Life for $400,000 and a whole life for $100,000. I think I did too much. I don't think so. Only if you can't afford it, right? So if you are having trouble affording something, maybe, yeah. Depending on how that $100,000 whole life is designed. If it was poorly designed, like a 50-50 split, where you've got 50% of your money going towards cash value, 50% of your money going towards premium, anything above 50-50, terrible policy, right? If you have 100% of your money going towards premium and nothing going towards cash, the policy is garbage to me. I'd probably get rid of it, keep the term, build up my cash, 10x my income, come back to whole life, and establish something that's actually going to help me. Okay? Nicole says, what if you get a policy with Mass Mutual? Do you have some arrangement with them in getting access to your kingdom? It's IBC Global, right? So if you type in IBC Global Inc. on YouTube, you're going to find a gentleman by the name of Steve Parisi. I have a partnership with him. They are an insurance agency that is brokered with different life insurance companies such as Mass Mutual, Guardian, New York Life, Penn, Lafayette, all different companies, right, that you can get. Primarily, they use Mass Mutual and Guardian. What I was saying earlier, you go to them, you talk to a Samantha, Steve, Stephanie, Phil, Brandon, and other new agents that he's adding on. Talk to any one of them, all you have to do is mention my name, right? My reputation will hold value, okay? You get your policy, you pay for it, you establish it, you then can reach out to me. Say, hey, Denzel, you said I could get access to your kingdom. And I will hold myself accountable and give you access to my kingdom so you can learn even more inside my kingdom in a more structured, chronological way where you can dive into, infinite banking and, learning how different ways on how we can use the policy. Also on his channel, he goes over so many different ways you can use IBC as well. So that's why I really like them. James says, hit the like button, man. Come on. Show him love for this free game. Free game. Love it. Love it. Junior, great teaching. Thank you. Denzel explains. Thank you both. All right. So is non-direct better than direct? I have both. Mass Mutual is non-direct. Guardian is direct. I have both of them. I don't see an issue. My whole thing is, as long as there's a zero cost of borrowing in the policy, I want my crediting rate to be equal to or more than what I'm being charged in loan interest. So as long as my loan interest, like if I take out loans, I only want to take out a certain amount in loans to effectively use that money. And over the years, I don't want that loan interest to compound and get ahead of my compounded cash value, because then the policy starts to not perform so well. So we don't want that. He says, my God, I am late. That's okay. You can catch the replay. Hi, Denzel. Can you tell us what you suggest to do to avoid the worst of the crash? Already went over it, so you'll have to go back. I'm not sure when you typed that. We got a kingdom giver in the house. Thank you so much. She says, we appreciate you and all that you do to help your kingdom citizens to excel. We're glad we're here. We love your attitude and servant leader spirit. Liking and sharing. How can we better help you? So at the moment, okay, the way you can help me right now is you can share this video with someone that you feel is inclined, they're going to be open-minded to listen to this information. Or you can just share my actual YouTube channel. So you can just share the link to my YouTube channel to 5 of your friends that you feel will actually watch the material and gain value from this. You can share my channel with people who are in debt, looking to get out of bad debt into good debt that pays them money. Okay? People that are looking for alternative ways to create financial freedom in their life. That's the best way that you can help me, although you already kind of said other than sharing. You can follow me on Clubhouse. So if you have an iPhone, you can follow me on Clubhouse. I'm doing an event tomorrow on Clubhouse at 1 p.m. I will be talking on Clubhouse. So if you have an iPhone, look up my name, Denzel Rodriguez, on Clubhouse. You can help me build a following on there because I'm looking to start a club. I'm going to call it the Finance Geek Ministry. I'm thinking about that, or I'm just going to title it Velocity Banking and Infinite Banking. We'll see. But I'm looking to start a club on Clubhouse where I can just, like speed round, talk to a lot of people, help them move forward in their finances. I think that would be a big help. Okay? Here from California. Awesome. All right, I'm going to erase the board here a little bit because I know some of you are putting some good questions in. I might need to type. Let's see, it says I'm getting $7,000 in a week. I'm getting $7,000 in a week. What should I do with it? I think that's what you meant to say. What should I do with it? Before you put your money anywhere, right? Before you dump your money in the crypto and the gold and the silver and all this other stuff, I would make sure that you give first, right? That's a kingdom protocol. Give first, 10%, right? Could go more, right? Give whatever you feel from the heart. Help somebody. And then invest in yourself, right? Buy books. Buy education. If you're looking to invest in crypto, if you're looking to master cryptocurrencies, if you're looking to master Forex, if you're looking to master real estate, buy books on it. Find influencers and successful people that have mastered what you want to learn so that you can maximize, turn that 7,000 into 70,000. I think it's education first. I'm gonna take another sip of water here. Give me ice just a sec. All right, super thirsty. Thank you. Valerie, you better think again. About what? Let me know. How much of a $60,000 HELOC should I use to chunk? What's the recommended percentage, or how is it determined? So, glad you asked that question, G-Man. And then after this, I'm gonna open it up and take some callers. All right, this will be fun. So G-Man says, he's got a $60,000 HELOC. All right. Now, personally, this is how I operate. Take it if you want. Use it however you want. I take your cash flow per month, conservative number, times it by 12. You'll get your yearly cash flow, right? You'll get your yearly cash flow. Take 60,000, times it by 66%. You get 39,600. Let's say your cash flow is 30 grand a month, 30 grand a year, right? 66% is 39,600. You cash flow 30,000 a year. Let's just say that's the case. You're probably making good income if you're cash flowing 30 grand a year, right? So if that's the case, these numbers are pretty close. I might go with the higher number, okay? Now, depending on your comfort level, the other thing that I do, G-Man, is I look at the debt snowball concept. And I say, okay, if I'm going to use this $60,000 HELOC to pay off debt, right? If paying off debt is the goal, you're trying to be debt free. Let's say that's the goal. Pretty simple, straightforward, no leveraging, you just want to pay off debt. Run your numbers on debt snowball first. You know that your extra cash flow every year is 30 grand a year. So the most that you can pay towards debt is 30,000 a year. So in order for velocity banking to make sense, it has to beat debt snowball by, at least 30 to 40% or higher, ideally, right? As long as you chunk more then what the cash flow is per year, you go faster than debt snowball. That's the whole point. So use debt snowball as your measuring stick. 66%. Take your cash flow, times it by 12. See where the two numbers lie. And then you pick a number either in between, nothing above 66, nothing below your cash flow times 12. You're going to get a pretty decent number to start with. I am finishing up the second book from Nelson Nash. Do you recommend any other books to practice IBC? I believe there is a book called What Would the Rockefellers Do? Is one book. What Would the Rockefellers Do? Somebody type that for me in the comments. What would the Rockefellers do? What's the other one? For you guys here that have read different Nelson Nash's books or other IBC books. I got a friend by the name of Stephen Gardner. He's got a book called Taming Wall Street. That's a pretty good read. Then there's, I forget the other one. I think it's called High Cash Value Life Insurance or something like that. Oh no, it's called Money, Wealth, and Life Insurance. Money, Wealth, Life Insurance. For those of you that have read other books around high cash value life insurance, the infinite banking concept, please go ahead and type it in the comments. Drop some value for Tan here. Not everybody gets the vision from Nelson Nash. Good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Good. Hey. Hi, Denzel. My first live viewing. Thanks for everything you do. Thank you. How and when one can start making money on a YouTube channel? Okay, so Richard, I believe the where's my marker? I think you need 1,000 subs, and I think you need 4,000 hours of watch time. So 1,000 subs, 4,000 hours of watch time. Then you can submit to be monetized on your channel, to get monetized. And then you start making money per view, right? But that's really not a lot of money at all. So you want to add a product, a service to your channel. What is the risk in doing velocity banking when and if the market crashes? Great question. So velocity banking is kind of like an emergency fund. Right? It can come in, it can save you. So I'll give you an example. I'll use me. Back in 2018, right, I experienced my own market crash in my own personal economy. I got fired, right? That's a crash. That's a market crash in my personal economy. I got fired in 2018, right? I was making $2,000 a month, roughly, just a little under $2K a month net, right? And my cash flow was $1,500. I had a $5,000 HELOC, unsecured line of credit, at 10.99% was my interest rate. Got it? So right before I got fired, I made a chunk, right, at debt. Right before I got fired, like a month or two right before I got fired, I had made a chunk. 1 month, 2 months later, boom, got fired, right? I had maybe $2,000 to $3,000 available in credit, right? I went to the bank and got an increase before it registers that I'm no longer employed. So I went right to the bank, leveraged my credit, increased my credit limit to $10,000 to buy me time to find either a new job or start a new business. Denzel went the route, of starting a new business, here's what you see today. I used debt to leverage, invest, grow. Here we are today, right? I used fiat money. I used fake currency, worthless dollars, to then turn those worthless dollars into something valuable, right? So this is an example of how velocity banking can get used. In the debt snowball world, if all I had was a $1,000 emergency fund, I would have got wiped the F out. Okay, excuse my language. I would have got wiped the F out. That's the truth. If I would have just stuck with the 7 baby steps. You would not see the Finance Geek. You would not know who Denzel Rodriguez is if all I did was have a measly $1,000 emergency fund, putting 15% in a freaking 401k and, you know, I don't know, trying to pay off debt, slowly making extra payments. I would have gotten wiped the F out. But because I had wisdom, experience, knowledge, got access to information that most people will never get access to, I decided to leverage. I leveraged good debt. I created a business that created cash flow. Cash flow. Cash flow is more important than net worth. I would rather have cash flow, right? I'd rather have like $5,000-$10,000 a month in cash flow than $1 million sitting doing nothing, tied up, locked up in a 401k. So if you gave me the option, Denzel, here's $1 million in a 401k, you can't touch it till you're 59.5. It'll grow at a steady 8% rate of return. Average, the internal rate of return might be like, I don't know, 4% versus 5 to 10 grand in cash flow for the rest of your life. I'd rather have the cash flow. Why? I could take that cash flow, invest it, reduce my taxes to 0 versus the 1 million that I'm going to get taxed ordinary income tax when I'm 59.5, when the tax rate is horrendous, ridiculous, right? So that's my point. So that's one example of how velocity banking can work if the market crashes. Okay, Denzel, my guy, slowest talker I know. Keep pushing, will do. It's my style, man, it's my style. I'm not a fast talker. You know, it's just not my style. I spend no less than 3 hours daily watching, listening to your channel, IBC Global, Wealth Nation videos. I decided to reach out to all of you and start implementing within the last month. Wow, see, that is worth it. Just for that, you can send me an email. Talking to you, not everybody else. You can send me an email. Say, hey, my name is, say my name on YouTube. I'll give you 30 minutes of my time. See where you're at. Okay? That's my offer to you. That's kingdom blessing. People pay me for my time. I'm willing to give it to you. It's kingdom blessing. I like what you're saying. Great, because I got the policy with Mass. Just didn't know. We'll reach out for access. Thanks a bunch. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Taking the education is the best decision I have made for our family. In less than 3 months, we chunked $10K, 7 credit cards. Eliminated the balances we have enlisted in credit repair. We have $10K at NFCU waiting to fund our policy. We have our LLC working towards business credit. Paid membership for our real estate investing business. Wow, we are moving. We are moving. I like it. So we are an hour and 18 minutes in. How many people we got in the house? How many people we got in the house? Got 147 people in the house. I want to go ahead and take a caller, okay? So I just put a comment, right? You can click on the link and you can call in, and I'll just go in order, okay? I'll just go in order. And I want to highlight some people. I'm going to skip over some comments. Forgive me. I want to shout out Hipólito Serino, if I said it right. Pair character, okay, thank you, he says. $10 he gave to the kingdom. I appreciate your $10 kingdom giving. Also, Prince, $10 kingdom giving. Thank you very much. Shout out to you. And then there was somebody else. Let me look. Bridget, God bless you. Thank you. $10 giving to the kingdom. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You're helping me expand the kingdom as we know it. How life insurance is not an investment. If it was an investment, Steve, you'd have to pay taxes on it, right? So because of that, life insurance is not an investment because you're not getting taxed on the gains inside the policy. It is an asset. So you don't want to compare life insurance to an investment. You want to look at it as an add-on feature to your portfolio. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. The link is below. If you want to call in, ask me a question, got a situation. We got 140 people in the house and rising. This is wonderful. I'm going to take a quick break here and get another sip of water. Okay. Just followed you on Clubhouse. I always send your videos to friends and family almost daily. Brother, you're the truth. Thank you, thank you. Jackie Harris says, can you do velocity banking if you have bad credit? Can't get approved for a credit card? No. So if I don't have a debt tool, velocity banking is a no-go. That's where I got to do debt snowball. Hey Denzel, love your velocity banking videos, bro. Trying to figure out if this works here in New Zealand. Not sure if banks accept credit cards for mortgage payments. Probably not, right? I only know velocity banking to work in Canada, UK, where else? Australia. It might work in the Philippines, not sure. Certain countries are just not, say, debt using friendly. You know, they don't encourage you to use debt. It's not part of the plan. So, it's just a thought. I'll erase some of this on the board here so I can create some space. Bear with me. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm only educated in the US, although I do have like a client in the UK and then like a client in Australia and a couple clients in Canada. I usually don't encourage anyone to work with me because I'm just not educated enough in any other country other than US. Curious, what is the average income of your clients? Good question. Good question. I think I'm going to break it down into different categories. So I've got quite a few people who are like between 4 and 10K. I got a big group that's right there. I would say that's like, this is probably like my biggest group, between 4, 10K a month. And then I got a couple lower ones, obviously the 2 to 3, right? But mostly 4 to 10K a month. Then I've got the 10K to 20. And this is definitely like a smaller group, right? And then I got the 20K to 80K a month. And this is my smallest group right here, 20 to 80K. Right? Very rare. I got like one client that's doing like a little above 80 grand. But I haven't had anyone doing 100K a month consistently, conservatively. Maybe they did it like 1 month or something like that. But this is the breakdown of my average clientele. Once you start getting here with your finances, right? Velocity banking is cool and all, but it's really like infinite banking that might be a little more attractive to you, Kingdom Authority, 10xing your income, debt leveraging, that becomes a little more important to you? Well, when you're down here, 4 to 10K, velocity banking is like the most amazing thing, right? It's great. But then as you start making more money, wiping out debt, you begin to say, okay, velocity banking was wonderful. Let's go leverage debt. Let's go 10X. Let's start a business. Let's build business credit and all this stuff. Also, I need to thank you for helping us get back into the business of tithing. It feels so good to give to worthwhile causes. Let me tell you guys, giving is the number one reason why I have what I have. This is my personal belief, and I back it up with truth. Saying, look, when I give, this is what happens. When I give, this is what happens. When I give, this is what happens. All right? I've done videos where I'm like, look, I'm going to give this much, and I'm, putting the reputation to God on the line. I'm saying, look, God, this is what I do for your kingdom. This is who I am. This is how I operate. I want to be a model kingdom citizen. I want to show what it's like to operate in the kingdom. I'm not in the business of persuasion or convincing. That is your job, Mr. Lord, Almighty Father, all-knowing, all-being. My job is to get him in the house, baptize him later. Get him in the house, baptize them later. Right? Convert, get them in the house, build a know, like, and trust factor, turn them into disciples that preach. Velocity banking, infinite banking, kingdom authority, 10X, build a business, great content. That's how I operate. Anyone know of any lenders that are currently offering HELOCs? Any recommendations? If you watch VIP Financial, they put out content here and there that talks about different, credit lines. One of them that they mentioned was PenFed. And this is a nationwide credit union, military friendly. So that's pretty good. US Bank is cool. I have videos in my course where I go state by state, and I covered some states, but more so I try to say, look, you got to look at a radius where you live. You do like a 25-mile radius, and you start calling the banks and asking, because maybe today the bank is offering a HELOC, but tomorrow COVID hits, they're no longer offering HELOC applications. So you don't want to waste an application, get the hard inquiry if they weren't even accepting applications in the first place, right? So you don't want to fall into that trap. So that's why I have a whole list of videos where I go step by step on how to find credit unions, banks that offer the tools that we want and need for velocity banking. And I give the criteria what to look for. That's how I like to do it. Take a look at those videos. Check it out. Yep, Money, Wealth, Life, and that was the book. Yep. What Would Billionaires Do? Oh, that's a good book. Garrett Gunderson. Yep. I like Garrett. I'd rather have 10K cash flow than $1 million net worth. I feel that. Good, good, good. So this is the link, guys. If anybody wants to have a conversation. If not, I could close it out here. I've taught my lesson. I'm happy. I'm answering your questions as we move along here. Which bank do you use for velocity banking? Any recommendations? So, for me personally, I don't even do velocity banking as much anymore because I'm completely debt-free, right? So velocity banking, the only thing I use on velocity banking are credit cards at this point. I have not used a line of credit for the past 2 years. Once I became debt-free, it no longer makes sense to borrow from my line of credit, so I just use my credit cards to leverage because it's 0%, no cost, cashback rewards, right? And then I established my own bank, right? IBC, cash value life insurance. So I have my own personal tax-free revolving line of credit that I use to run bills, make investments, and things like that. Okay. You can use an offset loan to practice velocity banking in New Zealand. Interesting. My wife's, and she used revolving credit for this system there years ago. Oh, that's great value for the person that is tuning in from New Zealand. Aaron's dropping great value there. Appreciate that. Any thoughts on how to manage 401k or stock investment during the market crash? Hello, senor. How you doing? So when it comes to 401k, so I think it's important to evaluate where you're getting information from. So I'm going to be totally open and transparent and honest and say, look, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. If I was to take a swing based off logic, just a swing, if I have a crystal ball, I know the market's going to crash. Let's say I have a crystal ball. I know the market's going to crash this year, next year, coming, right? And I have a 401k. What are my options? Right? Most people know about rollovers. I can go into another type of asset, maybe cash value life, maybe self-directed Roth. I can move this money from no control to control, right? Then there's, just pulling out, killing it, canceling it. Some people do that. They're like, oh, I'm out. That's it. Had enough of the market. I want to put the money in my control and put it to use. I'm willing to take the tax hit and all that stuff. That's another option. People talk about it. That's what's available. I'm not saying what to do. I'm saying here are the options that exist. Rollover. People do it into a cash value life insurance policy, into a self-directed Roth IRA account, into an annuity or something like that. Some people will just pull the money out. Some people will take a loan out. Some people, depending on how much control you have, you might want to, get out of these expensive mutual funds into low-cost index funds. So if you're in low-cost index funds or zero-cost index funds, S&P 500, different things like that, you don't care about this. You don't care about market going up and down, things like that. Right? So when you're asking that question, what should I do with my investment? A better question to ask is, how bad do I need this money if the market were to crash? Right? So if you noticed in 2020, a lot of people pulled money out or took loans out of their 401k because there was no penalty, and you can defer the taxes for 3 years, and if you pay it all back in 3 years, you pay nothing in taxes, right? That opportunity already passed, right? But some people took advantage of that. Why? Because the market crashed for them and their personal economy, and they needed money badly. They needed money badly, okay? So you want to ask yourself, how tied am I to this money that I'm supposedly saving for retirement? Because if this is money that I'm supposedly saving for retirement, then I don't care about this, because I know it'll go up more than it goes down. That's how investing works long term. That's how that works. But if I'm in a position where I got a ton of debt, my cash flow ain't pretty, my income's not that high, I got a few $100,000 in the 401k, the market crashes, my economy crashes, right? Because there's a difference between the market crashing and then your personal economy crashing. Anybody's personal economy can crash at any moment, Anyone's. Just like mine did in 2018. My personal economy crashed in summer of 2018. And then I had to make moves really, really quickly. I wasn't prepared, but I was prepared because I had at least velocity banking to pull me through. So those are the things to think on. How tied am I to this money? Am I willing to lose some of the money to be able to pull it out, to then put it to work somewhere else and multiply it in a different environment? You want to ask yourself those questions. I've been watching for a year now, working on my credit, building my relationship with my credit union. My credit is 736, but it's 8 months old with only 2 accounts. I'm brand new to credit. Good, 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 good. Hey, Denzel, here in Texas, still frozen here. Oh my God. Yeah, man, that's crazy. With the weather in Texas, I'm like, what? It snows there? Holy crap. But we are very blessed here. Lights are on, heat is on, food in the fridge, and family is safe. God is good. Listening to you, and you are very blessed. Thank you. Thank you. Says he uses it in Trinidad. The bankers don't have a clue. That's pretty cool. So it looks like IBC works over there. Why do you recommend a first lien HELOC? Why do you not recommend a first lien HELOC, or do you, question mark, or an all-in-one mortgage? So me personally, I don't recommend anything per se, right? I simply show the options. So I have clients that have first position HELOCs. I have clients that have second position HELOCs. I have clients that have personal lines of credit. I have clients that have credit cards. I have clients that have all-in-one mortgage, and I have clients that have all of the above. So I'm not against any specific product. What I'm against is lack of education, lack of knowledge, okay? Lack of discipline, not being aware of what you're doing, not having a strategy. That is what I'm against. I'm against somebody saying, I'm going to go get a first position HELOC, but I still owe money on 2 cars, the student loan, the personal loan, 17 credit cards. Don't you think you're kind of skipping over? Shouldn't we maybe start knocking down the credit cards, positioning myself better for the first position HELOC? See, some velocity banking specialists or experts will convince you, like, say for example, let's run some numbers. Let's do an example so we don't cause confusion. Let's say you got 2 cars, right? 1 student loan, 1 personal loan, 10 credit cards, 1 mortgage. Okay? There are many ways to teach velocity banking, ladies and gentlemen. You have to find somebody you know, like, and trust, and then you go all in. I'm simply showing you the options yet again. One way that some velocity banking experts will teach velocity banking is they'll look at all of these debts. They'll look at your mortgage. They'll take a look at the equity that's in there, and they'll try to immediately replace your mortgage with a first position HELOC. I am not in favor of this if I have this, if I have all of this holding me back, right? If I have all this other debt holding me back. I believe mathematically that I can go faster in debt payoff if I start with the lower debts and work my way up. Personal opinion. So the flip side is some velocity banking experts will say, okay, we're going to get you a first position HELOC. You're going to do velocity banking on the HELOC, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take your car and consolidate in the HELOC. And then we're going to take the other car, consolidate in the HELOC. Then we're going to take the personal loan, put it in the HELOC, and then the credit cards. So what they're doing is they're shifting, they're consolidating all the other debts into the HELOC. Then what they do is they'll encourage you to go get a bunch of 0% credit cards, run a bunch of balance transfers to get rid of all this debt. And then you pay the monthly minimum payment over here at 0%. Meanwhile, you're doing velocity banking over here, knocking down, creating equity. By the time this expires, you then shift the credit card debt that you shifted from the cars and the student loan, the personal loan, the credit card, back into the HELOC, okay? That's how some people teach it. I choose not to teach it that way. I do not see the long-term value, because what we have to also factor in is the human error. What is the likelihood of a person with all this debt making 5 to 7K, never ran a business before in their life, they've lived paycheck to paycheck most of their life, they're 45 years old, they're 55 years old, what is the likelihood of them sticking to this? Like, psychologically speaking, what is the likelihood of them attacking the biggest debt first? And this is where I actually agree with Dave Ramsey on attacking the smaller debt, psychologically working your way up from small to greatest. In some cases, yes, this will work for the disciplined, for the higher income earner. For sure it'll work. Wouldn't doubt it. But for my average viewer that, like I said earlier, that's making 4K to 10K, my 10K people definitely have more discipline most of the time, but really the people here, you're a 4K earner a month, 3K, 5, 6, 7, you live paycheck to paycheck 20, 30 years of your life, you've only cash flow 500 to $1,000 a month. What is the likelihood of you going after your biggest debt, trying to knock that down, consolidate other debts, get 0% credit? I mean, this is too much. That's too much. So what I do is I meet the person where they're at. It is very likely that the person that makes $4,000 a month, $5,000, $3,000, $2,000, they know who Dave Ramsey is, 7 baby steps. They get that. They understand it. They're familiar with it. So I ease them from that into, okay, well, let's do a hybrid of debt snowball velocity banking. We'll call it debt snowball 2.0. You can call it that. And let's start with your credit cards. So we'll do velocity banking with the credit card. Bam, 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 bam. Knock it down, build your credit. Okay, now we go apply for a HELOC. And we say, okay, that personal loan with Lending Club is 16%. Bam, let's go smack that out of the park. Consolidating my personal loan to HELOC that's charging me 6%, 7%, 8%, right? So now they're building momentum. They're getting results. Okay, this is gone, that's gone, this is gone, that's gone. If someone goes from a first position mortgage to a first position HELOC, nothing happened. They didn't remove anything. It's going to take time to see the actual results. People lose momentum and faith pretty quickly when they don't see instant gratification or instant results. So those are my thoughts behind that. So I'm not that I'm against it. Like I said, I'm against lack of knowledge, lack of education, lack of discipline, lack of a strategy. That's what I'm against. Okay? Guys, enjoying this? Comment below. Let me know how you're feeling. 136 people in the house. I think we're having fun. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. I'm probably going to go ahead and close it out. Didn't see anybody chime in or call, so yep, hang in there. Cool. Is it true that Guardian wants to increase policy loan interest rate? I have no idea. Not sure. I would reach out to IBC Global. They probably have a video on it. Pretty sure. All right. Denzel partners with a lady named Heather Amari from CMG Financial on the all-in-one loan. Yes, she's awesome. Combines a first position HELOC, checking account, mortgage into a single product. Yep. Dropping value. Love it. Want to 10x my business. Which choice should I make? Refinance or HELOC? Listen to this. She says, I want to 10x. So that to me means that paying off debt is no longer important. 10x is more important. I would rather go from making $5,000 a month to $50,000 a month and write a check and wipe out all my debt in one shot, as opposed to taking my $5,000 a month, making extra payments towards my debts to increase cash flow, takes time, do velocity banking, go a little faster, right? I'm always going to choose 10x over everything. Thanks to Mr. Uncle G. 10x over everything. Like I said, I would rather make an additional 10 grand than save 10 grand. Because I can move a lot faster, number one. And like I said, I can make 10 grand faster than I can save 10 grand. So that's how my thinking is. So Sharon and I are on the same frequency right now. She says, I want a 10x. That means paying off debt is no longer important. If I refinance, that means I'm pushing out the debt, lower payment, more cash flow, right? And maybe that might make sense so that she can redirect that cash flow to start a business and go do here. Versus getting a HELOC. If you get a HELOC, are you going to use the HELOC to pay off debt, or are we going to use the HELOC to invest in your business, leverage debt, kind of build it that way? Although I may not be in favor of that, if you don't have the knowledge and the experience of first attacking some debts. We want to build some discipline around debt leveraging. We don't want to just, I want to 10x and leverage debt and do all this stuff. That's all fine and dandy, but I'd rather you get some practice on paying off some of your debt, building some discipline. If we can get rid of the cars, if we can get rid of the credit cards, the personal loans, and just be left with your student loan and mortgage, if we can just be left with that, and then we go leverage debt, I'm pretty much in favor of that. That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun to me. That puts me in a really good position. So that's my thought process on there. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Thanks for being willing to share your time and knowledge. I cannot leverage my rental property to the question above. Okay. Greetings, Denzel. Hello. Is velocity banking along the same lines as credit card trading? Credit card trading, that's the first time I've heard that term. So I don't know, can't speak on it because I'm not familiar with that term, credit card trading. Can you use velocity banking if you're debt free? Yes, you can use velocity banking if you're debt free to leverage debt, to acquire debt that pays you money. So currently I'm debt free. The only thing I use velocity banking for are credit cards and to access more debt that I can leverage to invest later. Let me just say, making up for years and decades of misinformation. Heck yeah. From New Zealand, got a $50,000 HELOC. If HELOCs exist, velocity banking can work. That's my take. This is crazy good. Awesome. Love the way you take your time to answer the questions thoroughly. Thoroughly. What do you recommend for a person with low debt insurance policy? What do you recommend for a person with low debt? Okay, so if I don't have a lot of debt and it's not killing you and your cash flow is nice, right? You're doing really good. Your cash flow is like $1,500 or more, and you want to start a cash value life insurance policy, by all means, reach out to IBC Global, mention my name. They'll be glad to help you out. I have a policy loan and a HELOC. Which one should I prioritize in paying off first? The HELOC, in my opinion. In most cases, the HELOC. See, I know some of you, what you guys like to do is you'll take your HELOCs and your PLOCs and your all-in-one loans, and then you guys chunk, right, into a policy. Then you guys borrow. So you take out a loan. You either invest it, spend it, right? Or you pay off debt. That's what most of you guys are doing. Investing it, spending it, running expenses, right? Or paying off debt. That's, for the most part, kind of narrowing it to 3 areas, right? When you chunked, you're now in debt on your debt tool. So the goal should be do velocity banking on the debt tool. Bring your line of credit to 0 as fast as possible so that you can focus on max funding. So you're going to leave the loan outstanding. Right? Do not pay back. This is kind of like how I like to operate. Me personally, I've got over 60K in loans on my Guardian. And then I got 11K in loans on Mass Mutual. I have no intention of paying back these loans anytime soon. No intention whatsoever. I send the money, right? In my case, I don't need to use debt because I have plenty of cash flow capital already. So I chunk money into IBC, I borrow it back out, I invest it, and I spend it. I don't have any debt, so I don't have to worry about that. So I just invest it and I spend it. I run expenses, I invest, right? Crypto, gold, silver, stocks, right? Things like that. And I put it back into my own business, things like that. I leave the loans outstanding. In your case, for you guys that are, say, leveraging debt to help you max fund a policy, maybe you're using cash flow, cash on hand, capital savings, plus a portion of debt to help max fund the policy, right? And if we do velocity banking on the debt tool, bring it to 0 within 12 months or less, by the anniversary date, you rinse and repeat. Make the next chunk, max fund, borrow out, invest, spend, pay off debt. Keep it going. You'll get to a point where you become debt-free, cash flow positive. You'll have a ton of loans outstanding. You'll have less of a need to borrow because you'll be cash flowing more, making more income. And then you can start to just simply max fund the policy and then start to pay back your loans, restoring your loans to 0. And then when you've accumulated, I don't know, 300K in cash value, after spending 3 to 4 years to pay off all your debt while simultaneously establishing a life insurance policy, guess what? You've restored the policy to 0. You've max funded the policy over 4, 5, 6, 7 years or whatever. Let's say you built up 300K, you borrow 66%, and you go buy a multifamily unit. You go buy a 16-unit building, an 8-unit building, a 4-unit building, and now we're really talking 10x, and it gets really, really fun. Okay? I have a $356,000 home loan with no bills, $2,500 cash flow. How can I pay my home off the fastest? Okay, just to repeat, education, study, read the material, watch videos. Here are your options, okay? Let's go over the options. How can I pay off my debt the fastest? That is her question, ladies and gentlemen. How can I pay off my debt the fastest? Okay, we're gonna simply show the options, okay, of what exists. Option 1, debt snowball. Option 2, debt avalanche. Option 3, velocity banking. Option 4, infinite banking. Or both. You can combine it. There's a way to do that. Option 5, 10x. 10x. So that simply means, and here's what you do. Your debt snowball is your measuring stick. With $2,500 a month in cash flow, guys, that's the number she provided. 2,500 cash flow. We got 154 people in the house. That's wonderful. Love it. Appreciate the support. 2,500 times 12 is 30 grand. The most that she can pay towards debt is 30 grand. Conservatively. Do we all agree? Yes? Thank you. So all I have to do is take that 356 divided by the 30 grand, 11.8 years, right? But then you add whatever the mortgage payment is, and we might get it down to like 9 years, right? So say 9 years. 9 years for debt snowball and debt avalanche, they're pretty much close together. Let's say 9 years for her to pay off $356K. Then velocity banking. Let's say velocity banking, we're able to do it in 5.5 years. Which would you rather do, 9 years or 5.5? Okay, 5.5, right? Or maybe you're not convinced on velocity banking, you stick to the debt snowball. Cool, 9 years, that's your timeline. Let's say you're gonna go the infinite banking route and it's gonna take 6.5 years. Denzel, why would this take longer than velocity banking? You have to understand, with infinite banking, you're paying for a product. So part of your cash flow gets locked up. You're not able to use it as quickly as velocity banking. So you will go slower in most cases. Some cases might go faster when you combine the two. Just depends. But you got 5.5 and 6.5 and 9 years. 10x, say 3 years. Which would you rather do? 9 years, 5.5, 6.5, 3 years. You asked, what is the fastest way? If you do this for yourself on your own numbers and map it out, you will see the result. I just gave you all the options that currently exist, right? So what 10x does is, let's say 2,500 a month. I'm gonna assume she's making 7 grand a year, right? If she spent the next 3 years figuring out how to go from 7,000 a month to 70,000 a month, ladies and gentlemen, at 2.9 years, right? Let's say she achieves her first $70,000 month, right? And now we're in year 3. So now she's making 70,000 a month. Her cash flow is probably easily 30K a month, right? Me, I make 35K a month on average. My cash flow is roughly 20,000 or more a month. So double it, 70 grand, easily making 30K or more in cash flow, easily. 30K, let's say 3 years from now, her debt goes from 356 and I don't know, maybe she wipes 25 grand off the top. She's at 331. 331 divided by 30 grand of cash flow, 11 months. So potentially, conservatively, within 3 to 4 years, she could just write a check in year 3, 3.5, just before year 4, pay off the entire mortgage and be done with it. So who won? I believe 10x will always win. That's my personal belief. That's the route that I went in terms of paying off debt, in terms of creating financial freedom. I went 10x, right? Velocity banking was my foundation. of money management. It was my foundation. I never lost it. I never dropped it. I kept it, but I used it to 10x. And then I came back, did the infinite banking, never considered this because it took too long. Okay? So those are the options. You get to choose. That snowball, slow and steady, wins the race. Is that the route you want to go? Okay, 9 years. Maybe 8, 8.5, you know. Velocity banking, 5.5, maybe as high as 6. Infinite banking, maybe 6.5, maybe 7 years. 10x, this 10x is 10x. How do you argue with that? How do you argue going from 7K to 70 grand a month? How do you argue that? Like, I don't know how to argue against that. That's why the option is there. Okay? What if you have cash from refi? Could you chunk back on mortgage balance? Well, that wouldn't make any sense, right? What was the purpose of you doing the cash out refi? Why would I refinance a debt that I just reset the clock on, lowered the payment, lowered the interest, restarted the whole interest to be front loaded, to then send the same cash back into the property and lock it up and never see it again? Why would I do that? Right? Let's really think it through. Now, I understand there are some cases where refinancing does make sense. Okay? But if you do a cash out refi, that means you increased the total debt on the mortgage. That means you went from $250 and there was 50 grand in equity. Now you have a $300,000 loan at a lower rate, lower monthly payment. Right? And you got that 50K. Why on earth would I throw 50K back in? I'm back at 250. But in this case, I would be back at more because there's closing costs and all that stuff. So I locked the money up. I think the whole purpose of cashing out refinancing is to invest. Put that money to work. Go acquire a second property and go make cash flow. That's my personal thought. It's personal opinion. You know, I let you do you and we'll go our separate ways. Have you ever heard of a money max account system? And if you have, can you compare that to velocity banking? Yes, I've heard of the money max account. So for those that do not know what the money max account is, if you go on my website, you go to resources, I have a link that will take you to the money max account and you can get some information on that. So essentially, the money max account, which is provided by United Financial Freedom, that's the name of the company. It's a network marketing company structure, right? They sell a financial software that automates. It automates debt snowball and velocity banking. Okay? So some people, they don't do well with the whiteboard, right? Some people are not good at being coachable. Some people don't learn over the phone. You know, some people only learn with Excel spreadsheets and things like that. So here is an alternative to paying off debt. This is an alternative. You buy a software, you plug the numbers in. So that's the thing. You have to know your 4 major numbers. You have to know where every dollar goes. So you got to plug in numbers. I would say you have to be tech savvy. Is tech savvy with 2 V's? Probably. So you have to know how to use this software. You got to learn how to plug the numbers in, how to read it, how to follow it. That's going to take time. If you're 65 years old and you're not tech savvy, may not be the ideal thing for you. If you're in your 50s, I know most of my clients, maybe they're probably not going to like this. Some do. I have clients who are engineers, tech people. They love the numbers, right? They run it through. They have beautiful Excel sheets. This might be a good product for you. Okay. Now, only downside, I would say the average cost of that software is somewhere around $3,500. Okay. So it is a bit of a higher ticket item to automate your finances, to show you exactly how and when to pay off your debt. Okay. So this is an alternative to one-on-one coaching and consulting from like what I do, or simply watching my videos, learning the formulas and doing it yourself and not having to pay anything. So you get to make that decision on how you want to move forward. Okay? So I'm not against it. I purchased the MoneyMax account. I partnered with the company because I know some people prefer that. So I said, well, why not provide them with that alternative resource in case they can't do this. They don't want to do this. They don't want to take the time to, write the numbers on a sheet and stuff and go one by one and line by line and things like that. If you're debt free, can you use Velocity Banking to invest, chunk into the market? Sure you can. A whole life insurance policy designed for high cash value. Cool. Would you keep a property which gives positive cash flow but is unleverageable, or sell it? I love cash flow, so I don't know if I'd sell. If you have debt, use the high cash value whole life insurance policy to chunk away at debt while your money keeps making money for you. If you don't have debt, accumulate cash value in the policy to invest in opportunities that align with your values and goals. Manisha Patel, hello. How are you? Can you fund a IBC a lump sum $50,000 and not have to pay it yearly? Please explain. So, to answer the first part of your question, yes, right? So, the first part of your question, yeah, we can do an annual payment, right? So to give you an example, I have a policy 2 where I pay $70K a year, $50K a year, lump sum, right? So I make 2 big chunks per year, $70K, $15K, Guardian, Mass Mutual, right? Now, second part of your question was, do you have to pay that amount yearly? The answer is no. So the first year, let's say I dump in $70K. The second year, let's say I am unable to pay a dime into the policy for whatever reason. What would happen is the insurance company will take from your cash value to just cover the premium. So in my case, my premium is $7,000 plus the term writer costs, so it's probably like $9K or something like that. I forget. And the ability to retain my MEC limit, right? So they would take a cash value loan from my policy to cover the premium costs of the policy to keep it in force. Year 3, let's say I can only pay in $10K. Okay, that's what you can do. You only pay in $10K. 4th year, 0. I can't pay in anything. Okay, got to take another cash value loan, right, to cover the base premium, whatnot. Now, is your policy going to perform well? No. It's not going to perform as the policy was illustrated. So if you were to compare it to somebody that puts in $70K each and every year, obviously this person's going to perform a lot better than you. But the fact that you're not strapped to the big lump sum payment, you can change it up. You can pay monthly, you can pay semi-annual, you can pay quarterly. It's flexible, okay? Do you have any friends who are well versed in applying and getting approved for the EIDL? Yes. Please reach out to my friend Sebastian Boyer. You can look in the description below. If you look at the description below, you're going to see something about business credit, building business credit. Check that out. It is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, shoot. Do I not have it? Oh, I got to fix that. I dropped the ball there. Oh, wait, no, it's right there. So it's the third link down. It says establish, build, and access business credit. www.businesscredit101.com/Denzel. Okay? So if you look in the description, you will see that link. This is the owner, Sebastian Boyer. He is well versed in EIDL, PPP, and SBA loans. Highly effective, putting out content. He also has a YouTube channel as well called The Approved Guy. Somebody go ahead and comment that. The Approved Guy. He's putting out content around that. Okay. 10X is only for business men, question mark? No. 10X is for business men and women, right? So it's for both. I wouldn't say it's exclusive. Not at all. 10X is a concept that anyone can apply in their life, okay? What is the process you took for 10X? So the process that I took for 10X is I first read the book called The 10X Rule by the one and only GC, Grant Cardone. Start there, right? My very next move, sales. Plus public speaking. Plus marketing. So that was sales, sell a product, provide value to the marketplace, get paid for my time and effort. Public speaking, share my message with a crowd, with an audience, build a following, build a community, build loyal followers and subscribers, people that like, comment, share, subscribe, right? Market. Social media. Those 3 skills is how I put it all together. Okay. Hello, Denzel. I asked several agents here in Singapore, but they don't have IBC. Yeah, I believe Infinite Banking is exclusive to the US and Canada. I don't know of any other countries that you can practice high cash value life insurance. I have not seen it. Thanks for donating to Stephen Gardner for his giveaway. I've subscribed due to that fact. Thanks. Appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to Stephen Gardner, who went from literally, let me delete this. So Stephen Gardner, if you guys don't know, he is also pretty up to speed with EIDL, PPP, stimulus checks. He puts like a video out every single day. This guy went from, I remember it vividly, this number. He went from 436 subs to now over 900,000 subs on YouTube. Talk about explosion. Talk about kingdom principles. This guy is a kingdom man. This guy understands kingdom protocol, kingdom principles, kingdom values, kingdom authority. This guy gets it. This guy gets it. 436 subs to 900K. He picked a topic, stuck to it, followed the trend. Look where he's at today. 900,000 plus subscribers. I think he's like at probably 910 or more right now. But that is Stephen Gardner. Somebody comment that for me, please. Appreciate that. Stephen Gardner, you can check him out. I did 2 collaborations with him, one on my channel, one on his channel. You guys can see how there was a point where I had more subscribers than him, right? So you can kind of see how he was talking then, how he talks now, and you're going to see the guy is level. The attitude, consistent. The 900K didn't get to him, right? He's still a kingdom man walking in his authority. And I think it's amazing. Do you have a worksheet on Excel that will help organize our numbers to arrive to our 4 major numbers? Yes, if you go to my website, denzelrodriguez.com. Somebody type that in for me. I appreciate it. www.denzelrodriguez.com. And you go to resources and you'll see the spreadsheet is there for free. It's nothing crazy. I mean, you can find better spreadsheets online, honestly, to tell you the truth. But it's nothing crazy. Do you have a video on eliminating a large debt like student loans, for example, through IBC policy? I believe I do. Honestly, I just don't know where it's at. In my course, I've got scenarios where there's so many where you can break it down and look at it. So if you're not already in the manifesto, I would check that out and look at it that way. I would go back. I know I did a 3-part series on student loans for college students. Went over that. Honestly, right now, I don't even think student loans is that valuable to pay off with everything being in forbearance, no payments, no interest. I mean, is it really worth it to tackle that, or should I go after something else? Okay. Timbo says, I'll check out Stephen Gardner's YouTube channel. Thanks for the tip, Denzel. Yep. Watch the video, Denzel Manifesto, but I do not remember which video it is. Yeah. Me neither, man. I'm just putting out so much, I forget at this point. But like I said, I don't think it's as valuable to be tackling student loans at this time if you have car loans and credit cards and personal loans, medical bills, you owe the IRS, mortgage payment. I think those are more valuable to go after, especially with all these loans being, student loans being in forbearance. There's no interest there's no payment. So where is the gain? Where is the cash flow gain from it? I'm not seeing it, therefore I ignore it. And I go after the other ones that can increase my cash flow. Cash flow is critical in a market crash. And we will end it here. This has been fantastic. Really enjoyed spending time with you guys. Had a ton of fun. This video, I'm going to keep it up, keep it live. We went over 2 hours long as usual. I'm sorry. I talk too much. I get it. But this stuff is exciting, man. You got to get prepared, right? So we will close it out here. God bless you. Talk to you soon. I am doing a Clubhouse event tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Hang out with me. We can continue the conversation, whatever you like. Then I'm also doing a Clubhouse meeting on February 23rd, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then next week, Thursday, I will be on Clubhouse instead of my YouTube channel. I'll be on Clubhouse at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time next week, Thursday, February 25th. So we got 3 Clubhouse events coming up. And then I will keep you guys updated. If you click on the very first link in the description below, you'll get added to the private Facebook group community where people are connecting with each other and giving value, helping people, quick questions here and there. You'll also get added to my email newsletter where all I do is share value. I'm not selling you anything. Only when you are ready to get started, I already present to you where to go, right? In terms of how to work with me or my partners that I'm working with. So you can join the email newsletter. You'll get additional step-by-step type structure in the emails. And then you'll be notified when I'm going live, you know, bringing your notes and being prepared. So this way you have an idea, okay? And we'll close it out there. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless. Talk soon. I want to bring to you helpful tools and tips that you can use and implement in your life. So you have to define these words for yourself so you can understand how you can proceed in life in terms of making money. Work means becoming a king. That's what work means to me. But it's up to you to actually put in the work so you can see where you're at, what you're doing. This way you can see what you're up against and how to tackle it. Learn your purpose in life so that you can fulfill it and help others do the same. That's like my personal mission.